Hi, I'm Kendra. 3 days ago, I was lying in a hospital bed, exhausted after 18 hours of labor, when my life took an unexpected turn. My baby girl, Lily, was sleeping peacefully in the bassinet beside me, while my husband, Derek, had finally crashed in the waiting room after staying awake with me through the entire ordeal. Knock, knock! A soft voice called from my doorway. A middle-aged woman with steel gray hair pulled into a tight bun stepped in. She wore a hospital ID badge that read, Chaplain Patricia Winters. Do you mind if I come in? I like to visit with our new mothers. I shifted uncomfortably, still sore from delivery. Sure, I guess. My husband's resting in the waiting area. Perfect timing, then. Patricia sat in the visitor's chair and leaned forward. We can have a little girl talk. How are you feeling about motherhood so far? Overwhelmed, but happy. We've been waiting for Lily for so long. Patricia's smile tightened at the corners. First-time motherhood can be quite the shock, especially for young couples. You and your husband are quite young, aren't you? I'm 24 and Derek's 26. We've been planning this for years. Planning is one thing, reality is another. She glanced at my wedding ring. Marriage can be strained by a child. Are you and your husband stable, financially secure? I frowned, confused by her questioning. We're doing fine. Derek has a good job, and I'll be going back to work after maternity leave. But daycare is expensive. And what about your dreams, your career? I don't understand. I've seen so many young mothers struggle, Patricia interrupted, her voice lowering to a whisper. There are families, wonderful, financially secure families, who are desperate to adopt. They could give your daughter opportunities you might not be able to. My mouth fell open. Excuse me? I know it sounds harsh now, but think about it. A clean break is often best. I can arrange everything quietly. Your husband doesn't even need to know we had this conversation if you're worried about his reaction. Are you seriously suggesting I give up my daughter? Without even talking to my husband? My voice rose sharply. Patricia placed her hand on mine. I pulled away immediately. I'm thinking about what's best for everyone, especially the baby. Get out! My hands were shaking. Right now. Please, Kendra, just take my card. Think about... Kendra? Nurse Maya appeared in the doorway, her dark eyes narrowing at Patricia. Is everything okay in here? No, I said, tears burning my eyes. It's not... Patricia stood smoothly. We were just having a chat. I'll come back later when you're feeling more receptive. As she left, Maya watched her go with a frown. What was that about? I wiped my eyes. She tried to convince me to give up my baby. Said she could arrange it all quietly, that Derek wouldn't even need to know. Maya's eyes widened. The chaplain said that? Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. Why would I make that up? Maya sat beside me. Because Patricia Winters has worked here for 15 years, and you're not the first new mother to tell me something like this. But whenever anyone reports it, she denies everything and nothing happens. Has anyone ever recorded her saying these things? I asked, anger replacing my shock. Maya shook her head. Not that I know of. Well, maybe it's time someone did. 3 days later, Derek paced our living room, running his hands through his dark hair. I can't believe this happened while I was sleeping 20 feet away. I should have been with you. You were exhausted too, I said, adjusting Lily against my shoulder. Besides, that's not the point. The point is she's done this before. And gotten away with it, Derek added, his jaw tight. The hospital administrator didn't seem very concerned when we called. Mr. Harrison basically implied I was hormonal and misunderstood her, I fumed. Like I couldn't tell the difference between chaplain support and someone trying to take my baby. Maya had connected us with another nurse, Olivia, who was at our house now. Her bouncy red curls shook as she nodded emphatically. Harrison always protects Patricia, Olivia said. I've reported her twice myself for inappropriate conversations with patients. Once she told a single mother that her child would be better off with a real family. Her exact words. That's horrible, I gasped. Why does Harrison defend her? Derek asked. Olivia lowered her voice. They're old friends from college, and the adoption agency she works with has donated equipment to the maternity ward. Wait, I interrupted. She works with a specific agency while pressuring vulnerable women? It's all very quiet, very under the table, Olivia explained. Nothing official on paper. My friend Zoe arrived, bringing dinner and determination. As a journalist for the local paper, she had a natural investigative streak. This is seriously messed up, Zoe said after hearing the story. Her words came rapid fire, the way they always did when she was onto something. And totally illegal. She can't represent the hospital and push adoptions for financial gain. Can you help us find others she's approached? I asked. Already on it, Zoe replied, pulling out her laptop. I posted anonymously in the local parents groups asking if anyone had unusual experiences with hospital staff after delivery. 3 women have already messaged me about Patricia. Derek looked at me. What are you thinking, Ken? I'm thinking we need evidence, I replied, steely determination in my voice. And then we need a confrontation. Count me in, Maya said. I'm on shift tomorrow when she makes her rounds. Isn't this risky? Derek asked. For all of you? Olivia snorted. After what she's done to vulnerable women for years, I'm more than willing to risk it. Me too, I said, looking down at Lily's sleeping face. No more mothers should go through this. Zoe typed furiously on her keyboard. Harrison won't be able to ignore hard evidence, and if he does, we'll take it higher. But how do we get her to admit what she's doing? Derek asked. I smiled grimly. I'm going back to the hospital for my follow-up tomorrow, and I'm going to seem very, very vulnerable. The next afternoon, I sat in the hospital waiting room. Maya had confirmed Patricia was making rounds. I'd left Lily with Derek, knowing this confrontation wouldn't be suitable with my baby present. Kendra? Patricia appeared, surprise evident on her face. I didn't expect to see you back so soon. I needed to talk to someone, I said, making my voice shaky. Things at home are harder than I expected. Patricia's expression shifted to concerned interest. Let's find somewhere private to chat. She led me to a small counseling room. As we sat down, I discreetly checked that my phone was recording in my pocket. What's going on at home? She asked gently. Derek lost his job yesterday. We had a huge fight about money. The lies came easily, fueled by my anger. I haven't slept. Lily won't stop crying. I can't stop thinking about what you said. Patricia leaned forward, eyes gleaming. About adoption? Yes, I whispered. You said you could arrange something? Quietly? I can absolutely help you. Her voice took on an urgent, hushed quality. I know a wonderful agency. The families are pre-screened, financially secure. They pay all medical expenses. Pay? I asked innocently. They would pay us? Patricia backtracked smoothly. No. That would be illegal. But they cover the medical costs. And sometimes there are considerations for the birth mother's recovery. How much are these considerations usually? She shifted uncomfortably. That's not something I can discuss directly, but the agency is very generous to mothers in difficult situations. And you? Do you get anything for connecting us? This isn't about me, Patricia said sharply. Then her voice softened again. I receive a small referral acknowledgement, but that's standard practice. So you get paid for each baby you help place? I clarified. You're making it sound mercenary, she snapped. I'm helping everyone involved. The baby gets a better life, the adoptive parents get their dream child, and you get freedom from a burden you're clearly not prepared for. I sat up straighter. My daughter is not a burden. Kendra, be realistic. You're young, your marriage is already strained, and now there's financial insecurity. The responsible thing is for a hospital chaplain not to pressure vulnerable women into giving up their babies for profit. I interrupted coldly. Patricia's face hardened. You have no idea what you're talking about. Actually, I do. I've spoken with other mothers you've approached, and nurses who've reported you. How dare you come in here and accuse me? The door opened. Maya and Olivia walked in, followed by hospital administrator Harrison. What is going on here? Harrison demanded. Ask Chaplain Winters about her side business placing babies with her partner adoption agency, I said. And the kickback she receives? This is absurd, Patricia sputtered. She came to me asking about adoption options. I pulled out my phone. Would you like to hear the recording? Patricia's face went white. Recording? Harrison asked, his bushy eyebrows drawing together. Yes, where Patricia admits to receiving what she calls referral acknowledgments for each baby she helps place, while presenting herself as hospital staff. You can't record me without consent, Patricia hissed. I'll sue you for defamation, for harassment. Go ahead, I challenged. Explain to the court why you were soliciting a new mother to give up her baby for financial gain. You set me up, she growled, stepping toward me aggressively. Maya moved between us. Back off, Patricia. This is a serious accusation, Harrison said, looking uncomfortable. Patricia has been with us for 15 years. 15 years of exploiting vulnerable women, Olivia interjected. We've been reporting her for years, and you've ignored us. You'll all regret this, Patricia threatened, jabbing her finger at me. I have friends on the hospital board. You think anyone will believe a hormonal new mother over me? I'll make sure you never work in healthcare again. She spat at Maya and Olivia. Are you threatening hospital staff? Harrison asked, finally looking concerned. Recording those threats, too, I added calmly. Patricia lunged for my phone. I stepped back, but she grabbed my arm, her nails digging in painfully. Give me that phone, she shouted. Security arrived at the commotion, pulling Patricia away as she continued to scream threats. The ethics board hearing is scheduled for next Thursday, Maya told me as we sat in my living room a week later. Lily was nestled in my arms, happily drinking her bottle. And the police report? Derek asked, his arm protectively around my shoulders. Filed, Zoe confirmed. Assault and harassment charges are being processed. And my editor approved the investigation piece for Sunday's paper. Anonymous accounts from 6 mothers, plus on-the-record statements from 3 nurses. What about Harrison? I asked. Under investigation himself, Olivia said with satisfaction. The board wants to know why he ignored multiple reports about Patricia over the years. Has she tried to contact you again? Maya asked. I nodded grimly. Her lawyer called yesterday, wanted to discuss resolving this situation amicably. What did you say? Zoe leaned forward eagerly. I directed them to my lawyer and hung up, I replied. There's no amicable resolution where she gets to keep pressuring vulnerable women. My doorbell rang. Derek answered it, then returned with a tight expression. It's Patricia. Are you kidding me? I handed Lily to Maya and stood up. She has a lot of nerve. Patricia stood on my porch, looking significantly less polished than she had at the hospital. Her eyes were puffy, her clothes wrinkled. Kendra, please, she began. I've been suspended pending the investigation. My reputation is being destroyed. I've dedicated my life to helping families. By coercing new mothers into giving up their babies? For profit? I crossed my arms. You don't understand. Most of those women weren't ready for motherhood. I was helping them make the right choice. It wasn't your choice to make, I cut her off. And you weren't helping them. You were helping yourself to commissions. I never forced anyone. You targeted women at their most vulnerable moment. Women who were alone, exhausted, hormonal, and scared. You abused your position as a hospital chaplain to pressure them into life-altering decisions that benefited you financially. I've lost everything because of you, she said bitterly. 15 years of work, gone. Was your revenge worth it? This isn't revenge, Patricia. It's justice. Not just for me, but for every mother you manipulated. Every family you tried to tear apart for profit. I can make amends, she pleaded. I can apologize publicly, make donations to maternal support programs. Save it for the ethics board, I said coldly. And the court? You're not even willing to consider forgiveness? After I've apologized? Some things are unforgivable, I replied. What you did, tried to do, to me, to my family, to countless other mothers, that's one of them. I closed the door on her protests. Back inside, my friends looked at me with concern. You okay? Derek asked quietly. I am, I realized, taking Lily back into my arms. For the first time since the hospital, I really am. Zoe squeezed my hand. You've changed hospital policy. They're implementing new protocols for chaplain interactions with patients, recording all counseling sessions, and training staff to identify and report predatory behavior, Olivia added. You've protected countless future mothers. I looked down at my daughter's face. What would you have done? I asked my friends. If someone tried to separate you from your child? Tried to convince you that you weren't enough? Maya's expression was fierce. Exactly what you did. Fought back with everything I had. Have you ever wondered? I asked softly. How many mothers weren't as lucky? How many were convinced by Patricia when they were alone and vulnerable? How many families were broken before they even had a chance to begin? We sat in silence for a moment, considering the magnitude of what had happened and what had been prevented. What's next for you? Zoe finally asked. I smiled down at Lily, then up at Derek. We're going to be the family Patricia didn't think we could be, the best family possible. And for women like Patricia who prey on vulnerable mothers, Derek prompted. My smile turned determined. We're going to make sure they never get the chance again. Have you ever stood up against someone who abused their power? How did you find the courage to fight back? Share your stories in the comments below and subscribe for more real-life inspiration.